Namaste all. I'm Yug, I'm 13 years old, and I live in the US. And this story that you're listening to right now is just one of the many stories that I've told in my collection of Hindu Itihas stories. And without further ado, let's start the story. So today I'm going to be telling the story of Adhaiya, or A. Now, I don't necessarily know how to spell Adhaiya perfectly, but let's just assume that it starts with an A, so we're gonna call him A. And A, he was just a normal child, he grew up blind, and he had a habit of eating a lot. So, a very popular dish in Hindu culture is roti, which is pretty much kind of like flour put into a sort of disc shape, and it's eaten with a lot of sabzi or vegetables, kind of like a sort of something that you eat something else with, such as yogurt. So you would eat roti and sabzi, and you would treat the sabzi as yogurt. So you would break off a piece of the roti and you would eat the sabzi with it. In Adhaiya, he had a habit of eating 12 rotis every single day. Now, 12 rotis is quite a lot. Most people normally eat 2 to 3. And so he went on eating 12 rotis every single day, and his parents weren't that crazy rich or something. They were just slightly well-to-do. And eventually, at quite the young age, approximately like 4, he didn't know how to read, write, or anything like that. His parents died, and he became an orphan. And for the next few days, just a week or so, all of the villagers, they took pity on him, and they're like, hey, let's just feed him. And he was able to sustain like that. But then he's like, hey, no, these guys aren't going to feed me forever. And then one villager, he said, hey, we can't constantly support you like this. There's an ashram or a hermitage of a guru or a teacher nearby. Go to him, and in exchange for you learning and doing his work, such as cleaning up the fields, taking care of the animals, he will give you as much food as you want. And he found this as a really good idea. He's like, yes, this is amazing. So he went to the hermitage and he started working there. He talked to the pandit, and he eventually told the pandit, when it came to him being paid in food, that hey, I eat 12 rotis every single day. And the pandit was like, okay, yeah, fine, go ahead, take 12 rotis. So there was kind of like this store, and this pandit had to approve their purchase. So they didn't necessarily have a currency like money at the ashram. They just had to ask the pandit, and the pandit has to say, okay, yeah, he can purchase 12 rotis or however many rotis or food he wants. And the pandit gave him a little pass, say, hey, you can get 12 rotis from the store every single day. And the pandit, he taught him a lot about the scriptures, and one key thing that he talked about was bhog lagana. Lagana means to put, and bhog is a custom kind of like saying grace before food. So for Hindus, instead of saying grace, what you do is you go in front of some sort of deity or anything, and you close your eyes and you go and you clap your hands together, kind of like in a clapping motion, but you don't move your hands, just you touch both of them together, and you say, hey God, please come and eat my food, eat as much food as you want, and go, and then let me eat my food. And the pandit said, hey, before you eat any sort of food, make sure to put bhog. So Adhaiya, who was just taught this, he first went out. And another thing the pandit taught was how to make your food. He said, we don't have a kitchen here, we don't have a chef, not as if you give him the food, then he's going to make it. You have to cook the food yourself. And luckily, A learned very well about how to cook his food, because eating is a very important part of life. And A was very excited for his first day. He said, okay, yeah, let's try out this bhog thing. So he purchases 12 rotis from the store. He goes outside to eat. He gets some wood. He cooks up a fire and he cooks up 12 rotis. And before he starts eating, he closes his eyes. He says, Chalo Bhagwan, which means God. Chalo means come or get ready. Chalo Bhagwan, come here, eat some food. And the moment he opened his eyes, boom. Ramji, who is one of the Dash avatar, or an incarnation of Vishnuji, who is a god, Ramji appeared before him and he said, hello, I am a god, I am here to eat. And A said, okay, yeah, fine. How much food do you eat every single day? And Ramji said, hey, I eat 12 rotis a day. And A said, okay, well, are you actually going to eat the food? And Ramji said, yeah, of course I'm going to eat the food. Like, what sort of question is that? So A had to give all 12 rotis of his to Ramji, and he just watched seeing Ramji eat all of his food up. And A, he slept hungry that night, but luckily some of his friends gave him some food, so it's not as if he was starving the next day. But he still didn't eat half as much as he needed to. So he wakes up, he is starving, and he makes a plan. He's like, okay, so today I'm gonna get 24 rotis. I'm gonna get 12 for me and 12 for Ramji. And he goes to the Pandit and he says, hey, I did your bhog and Ramji appeared before me and he ate all of my food. Can I please get 24 rotis for me and Ramji? And the Pandit thought that he was just joking and A just wanted to eat a ton of food because it's a very rare occurrence for Ramji to come, because Ramji himself is a god and the Pandit himself has been doing penance for years now and he's never seen a god like Ramji appear before him. So how will Ramji appear before A? He didn't believe it. It was like, okay, yeah, A just probably wants some more food. Here you go. Here's a pass for 24 rotis. Now, Adhaiya, who gets really excited with 24 rotis, he feels smart. He's like, yes, I got this. Now when I put bhog, it's just going to be me and Ramji just eating 12 rotis each together. So he does the same procedure as yesterday. He grabs it from the store, he goes outside to eat, he cooks up his food, 24 rotis, and he says bhog, saying, hey, chalo, Bhagwan, come eat. And boom, two people appear, Ramji and his wife Sita ji. If you want to know more about them, you might want to check out the Ramayana saga and maybe the close-up that I've done on Sita ji and Ramji. And then Adhaiya says, hey, wait, Ramji, who have you brought with you? Who is this auntie? And Ramji says, hey, no, this is my wife, Sita ji. She also wants to eat. I told her about what good food you make for us. And she instantly got really excited and she decided to come eat with you. And A, yet again, he got his food eaten right in front of his eyes. And he slept yet again hungry and he asked his friends for food. So like I said previously, he didn't go completely hungry, but he didn't eat completely. And he increases it. The very next day, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll get 36 rotis. And he says the same thing to the Pandit, saying, hey, when I put bhog, then Ramji and Sita ji, his wife, appeared before me. Could you please give me a pass for 36 rotis? And the Pandit did not believe it. He's like, okay, yeah, fine, 24 rotis. He's insanely hungry. Fine. Some people have different, they get hungry at different times, okay? I don't blame him, but 36 rotis, that's crazy. And then that's when Pandit started screaming at A, saying, hey, no, why are you selling your food? Because the Pandit had an idea that, okay, yeah, A is probably just going to some market and he's selling the food in order to get some more money for himself. And the Pandit started screaming on Adhaiya for the 36 rotis, but he still gave him the pass. And Adhaiya repeats the procedure. He gets the food, he cooks it, then he puts bhog, and boom, 3 people appeared. So young Ramji, Sita ji, and then Lakshman ji appeared. And A asked the same question saying, hey, yeah, fine, I understand you and auntie, but who is this guy? And Ramji says, no, this is my very close brother, Lakshman. He normally lives somewhere else, but he came back just to visit, and I told him about you, and he wanted to eat your amazing food. So, all three of us, we all eat 36 rotis combined. Could you please give us the food? And yet again, A had all of his food eaten right in front of him. And the very next day, he decides to get 48 rotis. The Pandit screams at him again, saying, hey, no, why are you selling even more food? But the Pandit said, hey, he's probably doing it for some righteous cause. If he's taking Sita ji, Ram ji, Lakshman ji's name, he's probably not doing it in vain. He probably has some good reasons for it. And if he is selling it, then I'll deal with him later. But let's just go on with the pass. So A gets a pass for 48 rotis. He passes it out, he cooks it, and he gets ready for bhog. And in A's mind, he never read any stories about Ramji or any of the stories that I'm even telling you right now. He had no idea who these people are. And even if you aren't a frequent listener, you probably would have at least heard of these names from your parents, at least, if you're Hindu. But Adhaiya had no idea who these people were, who Ramji, Sita ji, and Lakshmanji were. All he had was, okay, yeah, I have to put bhog, the Pandit told me to. So I'm putting bhog, and in A's mind, he's like, okay, yeah. The maximum these people can bring is probably 3 people. Now I'll finally eat my 12 rotis in peace along with Ramji, Sita ji, and Lakshmanji. And he was really confident. He cooks the food, he puts bhog, and boom, 4 people appear this time. Sita ji, Ramji, Lakshmanji, and Hanumanji. And Adhaiya asked the same question, saying, hey, who is this monkey? And by the way, I wasn't joking. Hanumanji is a banar, which means monkey. And Ramji says, hey, this is my right-hand man. He's my really good friend, Hanumanji. He's helped me through a lot of battles before. And Adhaiya had his food eaten right in front of him yet again. And this time, Adhaiya decided to be really smart about this. He said, okay, if these guys are going to eat my food, let me get double the amount of food in order to be able to eat today. So instead of getting the normal 48 rotis for him, Ramji, Lakshmanji, Sita ji, and Hanumanji, so that's 12 times 4, which is 48. Instead of getting what would be next, which would be 60, he says, okay, let me get 2 times more, so that means 72 rotis. And he gets screamed at severely by the Pandit, and this time, Adhaiya decides to change it up. So he goes there with 72 rotis and equal amount of sabji this entire time. And he puts bhog, and Ramji brings on 2 more people instead of just 1. He says, hello, I'm Ramji, this is Sita ji, this is Lakshmanji, this is Hanumanji, and these are my 2 very close brothers, Shatrughan and Bharat. And that in total makes 72 rotis, which means 6 people, because if you count, just make sure. And this time, A was prepared. He's like, okay, yeah, fine. I'm fine with this many people, but now you have to do the work for me. I've cooked you so much food this past few days. I've cooked you a ton of food for pretty much your entire family. Now how about you cook food for me? And Ramji says, okay, yeah, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You gave us food, we'll give you food. So Ramji tells Sita ji to start cooking. He tells Hanumanji to start getting some more spices. And while they're cooking, he quickly runs all the way back to the ashram. And he screams at the Pandit, not necessarily screams, but he just says, hey, Pandit, come quick. Your beloved Ramji, who you thought that I've been lying about, is right here in front of you. Come, see. But the Pandit still thought that he was lying, and the Pandit didn't come. He's like, hey, no, I don't care. You're probably just lying. I'm not wasting my time like this. And A, he's still arguing and he says, hey, this is the one time opportunity. If I'm lying, then you can just take away all my food and I'll stick with my normal 12 rupees. But at least you can see now. And maybe there's even a chance that you can meet God if I'm not lying. So the Pandit's like, okay, yeah, fine. You're not saying the wrong thing. And the moment the Panditji enters the vicinity of the area, he sees a gigantic white light. And he sees Ramji's entire family just cooking there. But in actuality, Adhaiya, or A, he didn't feel any white light. He just thought that there's just a bunch of random people, I have no idea who they are, just cooking food for me and eating up all my food. And the Pandit instantly runs to Ramji and starts touching his feet. And the Pandit asks that, hey, I've been doing penance about you for the past few years now. And now you come to this homeless orphan who hasn't ever heard your name. Why? And then Ramji explains. He says, you did penance with my name in your head. You wanted to meet me. That was why you did it. And you did it for your own benefit. You wanted some sort of boon, some anything. But he just wanted to get his dharma done. Dharma means your duty. And when it comes to your duty, you're supposed to fulfill it. And that goes ahead of anything. So, for me, since I'm 13 years old, by the way, my duties are just being a good son, being a good family relative, a good neighbor, and just study. So, those are my duties at the moment because I have to attend school, just like a lot of my fellow other kids are doing. And if you're an adult, then you would also have to go to work. And eventually, Ramji explains that you did it in order to gain something, but he did it just to get it over with. He didn't have any bad intentions. He would actually like it if I didn't come because I'm the one that's eating all of his food. And this is the thing that you need in order for me to appear before you. You need that ideology that everything is good and you should do everything that's dharmic. And eventually, after that, Adhaiya, he figured out how to live his life fine. And after that meeting with Ramji, he went on with his life. And that's the story of Adhaiya. And I did like the story because it does give an explanation of Ramji saying that, hey, what does he think? And on top of that, I also did like that it kind of had a bit of humor because pretty much the entire story, Adhaiya just kept on getting scammed by Ramji and he had all of his food just eaten in front of him. But this time, Ramji made the food for him and he was able to eat contently. And that's the story of Adhaiya and Namaste.